Good day, folks, and welcome to review number 74. Today we're going to try to take a very logical look at one of my favorite toys from the latest line. It's a look at the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Shockwave. So, starting off looking at the packaging, Shockwave comes packaged in the Beast Hunter style Voyager packaging, which is a pretty plain-shaped box. It's just a rectangle here. The artwork on the front features Predaking over here on the left-hand side, just like the deluxe cards do. It's also got the Beast Hunters logo down here and an image of the vehicle mode over here. Now, Shockwave comes packaged in robot mode, and he's got his accessories displayed over here on the right-hand side, and there's a neat little try me button here in the middle so you can show off his weapon in the packaging. The back side of the packaging features photos of the figure in robot and vehicle mode, as well as artwork advertising Transformers Prime across the bottom. The left side of the packaging features artwork of Shockwave on this side, and on the right side you've got the same artwork as well as the text stats and a short little bio sentence. So here is Shockwave in his robot mode, and I gotta say he looks really good. He looks pretty close to what we've seen with the show model, and he carries that real classic Shockwave look to him as well. So I'm real happy with the way he turned out, at least as far as his aesthetics go. Getting into his articulation, his head is just a swivel joint, so there's no looking up or looking down, so that does limit a few things there. He's got a hinge and swivel on his shoulder there. Both sides have a bicep swivel. Then you've got his elbow here. Now, this is something that's almost, I don't know if they meant to do this or what, but it almost looks like it's backwards, like they should have put this notch here on the top as well, because that kind of limits his gun arm posability. On his other arm, it's just elbow there is fine. On his regular arm, he does have a ball jointed wrist here, so you can, even though there is this little piece here that restricts a little bit of the movement of the wrist, you still get some pretty good movement there. There's no waist articulation there, but he's got a ratchet and swivel hip. The ratchet is a little coarse though, so you get him, spread eagle or standing straight up. Then there is a thigh swivel there, knee joint, but no real ankle articulation. So I'd classify him as mediocre on articulation because of a few glaring oversights there, but he's pretty good. One thing that I'm glad that they typically get right with Shockwave is the light piping in that eye. And if you see here, shadowing it, the light piping does turn out pretty good with the eye here. So even though his head, he doesn't have much of a head sculpt, but despite the fact that his head articulation is limited, you at least get that good light piping for the eye. Now, speaking of light piping, they've managed to carry this over into his gun arm as well, and the little gimmick they've included with this. The centerpiece inside the gun arm is that same clear red plastic that transmits light so well. So then when you push the little button that spins it and separates the pieces, you see that center piece. It looks like it almost lights up. And I think that gives a really cool effect to go along with the little spinning gimmick that they put along with it. Now, just as they did with Smokescreen, they were smart about how they did the accessories with Shockwave here. Since Shockwave did not get a release with the regular Transformers Prime waves, when they went to the Beast Hunters aesthetic, rather than molding the Beast Hunters parts into the figure itself, they made them as these accessories. So you can apply them if you want, or you can either have them on or leave them off. And as these are again kind of odd looking, just soft rubber parts, I'm not too fond of them, and I prefer the figure clean, so these will probably just get put away somewhere. One other cool little feature they've put in here is they've added the ability, you can take one of the tank treads from the vehicle mode, unfurl it, and plug it into his gun arm here, and basically recreate the look of the hose that used to that would connect Shockwave's gun arm to his backpack from G1, and which they also the show model also emulates that as well. So you've got you can bring that little feature forward, and it's not something they necessarily had to include, but it's neat that they did take that extra step. Moving on, let's take a look at Shockwave's transformation. Well, for a Voyager class figure, Shockwave's transformation process is pretty simple. There aren't really any complex part movements or panels shifting around. All you basically have to do to transform Shockwave is reposition his legs and arms and flip out a few bits here and there. In fact, I'd say that some of the deluxe figures in this line are probably more complex than Shockwave. The one saving grace is that there is kind of an interesting transformation they did with his feet. But other than that, I'd have to say that the transformation process for Shockwave is pretty lackluster. So here is Shockwave in his vehicle mode, if you can call it that. If you've seen any of my reviews before, you know my opinion of most Cybertronian vehicles. It's I think it's, a lot of times it's an excuse to just kind of throw some strange looking vehicle out there and half-ass the transformation. And I don't know, this one kind of falls along that same category. It's kind of a strange H-tank, I guess. With the these front wheels, they almost reminds me of like the Thunder Tank or something. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. The gun gimmick still works up here. Yeah. I mean, you can see the hand sticking out on the bottom. That's kind of an odd thing, but it's just an odd vehicle all around. So, it's Shockwave, so I mean, he could turn into a giant flying gun, I guess, but is this really any better? Probably the one redeeming factor of this vehicle mode is because it's so weird to begin with. It just makes sense to go ahead and use these funky crab-like accessories on the vehicle mode, and just make it look that much more odd. But I suppose I kind of like the vehicle mode with these funky claws and crab face on it. I like the vehicle mode better this way. Not on the robot mode by any means, but yeah, I think I think the crab is the one thing that saves Shockwave's vehicle mode. When you look at the Transformers Prime Beast Hunter's Shockwave as a transforming toy, you could almost call it a failure. The transformation is too simple, and the vehicle mode, well, it just sucks. But this toy is saved by the amazing looking robot mode. In my opinion, this is the best looking homage to G1 Shockwave we've gotten from Hasbro in recent years. As someone that loves the classic character, I'll gladly display this figure with my other Shockwaves. And that is why this guy has earned his spot as possibly my favorite figure from the Beast Hunters line.